Hey guys, it's me Ram here, and that right there was me at Auckland Autumn 2023, wondering how the heck I pulled that off. That result placed me in the top 100 in India at the time, which was an absolute shocker. Truth be told, I've been in the top 100 for a few events before, but Megaminx was one of the last events I would have expected to get there, and today, I just want to go over how I achieved this in just 2 weeks and how you can too. Now, as you guys may know, I am and have always been absolute trash at look-ahead based events. The shorter the event, the better it is for me, which is why I'm actually not trash at 2x2, I just want the soul. But before this competition, I saw I had at least a couple of Megaminx rounds, and at the end of April, I suddenly got this fire in me to maybe get a few decent Megaminx results and hopefully break my PR. But there was one problem. I was basically out of practice since November 2022, and therefore I decided to hit up my mates over at SpeedCubingOne to help me out in this extremely limited time. Now if you guys don't know, SpeedCubingOne is basically a coaching service started by two top Indian speedcubers, Arnav Adani and Shubham and Maharana. These two rank in the top 150 in the world in their respective best events and are national class at a lot of other ones too, so you can be certain that they know what they're doing. These guys currently offer coaching for all WCA events, and I can absolutely vouch for them, you will see why. If you'd like to enroll in their coaching program or just check them out, the link to their Instagram and Google form will be linked in the description below. Now back to the video. The big reason I picked these guys to coach me at Megaminx is because I've always struggled with Megaminx improvement for many years. It feels like such a chore to practice because all I can really think of is doing souls, which leads to a very slow improvement rate. On top of that, Arnav is currently ranked 110th in the world for Megaminx, so if he knew best about anything, it would be Megaminx. It was literally an opportunity gifted to me, and I took it up with open arms. I started out by sending 5 souls in the 145 to 150 range. Not amazing, but considering I was basically out of practice for 6 months, it honestly went better than I was expecting. Within a few days, SpeedCubingOne got back to me with a whole detailed document with a bunch of tips, improvement guides, and how to practice, and I got to practicing. The absolute biggest problem in my souls, according to Arnav and Shubham, was my efficiency. Apparently, I was missing things that were right in front of me, which basically meant my efficiency was trash. To combat this, SpeedCubingOne told me to do some untimed souls if I got the chance, but mainly, during timed souls, break the bad habits deliberately. Even if it meant getting a worse time than I could have or even DNFing, it would ultimately help me in the long run, so I started doing that. Secondly, my last layer was absolute rubbish. I was told to learn 4-look last layer, and while I was not really able to come close to finishing it, instead of just YOLOing the last layer, I actually sort of understood how last layer on Megaminx worked for the first time in my cubing career, which was a massive win for me. I was also told to watch walkthrough souls, work on some particular finger tricks, and well, just be patient with improvement. Now it is worth noting that a lot of my weaknesses might not actually be the same for you, and that's where SpeedCubingOne comes in. They help you point out your individual flaws and actually give you an improvement plan tailored to your strengths and weaknesses to go forward with the event. Now I knew Auckland Autumn would be my last chance to compete in Megaminx for a while before end of semester exams came up again, and I got rusty, so I decided to give it my absolute best, and from the start of May, I got on the grind. While this competition was only 2 weeks away at the time and I was not expecting any kind of miraculous improvement, I was really hoping to perform at my best and just break my PRs. At this point, these stood at a 147 single and a 154 average, and I really wanted to lower them to a sub 140 single and a 145ish average. Over the next couple of weeks, I started seeing some good improvement. I was constantly getting sub 140 souls, which was honestly better than I expected, and I was even getting sub 130 souls every now and then, which felt awesome. I was able to break all of my Megaminx at-home PBs during this period except for my 117 single from like January 2022. Then came Auckland Autumn. In my very first round, I achieved both of my goals, getting a 145 average and a 132 single. I was already super happy with the single but knew I could improve the average, so I was still not 100% satisfied with it. Going into the second round, I just told myself, these 2 weeks of practice are about to pay off. And boy was I right about that. I was able to get a sub 140 average, which was and still is really good for me, and a 120 single, which is overall PB2 and my best single in the last 1.5 years. The craziest thing is, I still think I can improve this further because this average had a counting 147, but I was still incredibly happy to have broken the sub 140 barrier. Okay, confession time. Since Auckland Autumn, I have barely done Megaminx because of exams, and I had another competition coming up without Megaminx, so at the moment, I don't really know what I average either. Hold up, let's pause the video there for a second. This is Ram from 2 weeks later. Despite me saying that, I've had a massive improvement in my Megaminx PR average. I was able to drop to a 134 average in the first round of my next competition and lower that even further to a 132 average in the second round. This is far better than my global, but all of a sudden, a sub 130 average is somehow looking possible. The deliberate practice from 2 months ago was so powerful to the point where I literally improved by doing nothing. Anyways, let's get back to the video now. But I truly think these 2 weeks of practice under the guidance of SpeedCubingOne helped me more than the 2+ years I had spent mindlessly grinding Megaminx souls. Ultimately, I achieved a long-term goal of mine, getting good Megaminx Megaminx PRs, and while I sadly got kicked out of the top 100 in India now, it was so unexpected to get it in an event that I truly thought I would never be able to. If it isn't clear already, a lot of credit goes to SpeedCubingOne for this. I think their improvement guide and overall general feedback really helped me out on what to practice, and I think that my deliberate practice was a direct cause to my great Megaminx PRs. I do hope that I will be able to get back onto the Megaminx grind soon and eventually beat my average again. As I said before, I highly vouch for and recommend Shubham and Arnav as coaches. They are dedicated, talented and hardworking top Indian speedcubers that have dedicated a major chunk of their time to get to this point, and if you'd like to see improvement in your own Rubik's Cube solves, whether it's Megaminx, 3x3, blindfolded or any other WCA event, I highly recommend signing up in the link in the description below and or checking them out and DMing them on Instagram. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you all can break your PRs by huge margins too. Goodbye.